Welcome back, everybody, to this KC Sports Report post-game live stream. I'm going to break down the Kansas City Chiefs' 30-24 victory over the Tampa Bay Buccaneers in overtime. This game just ended. Kareem Hunt got the walk-off touchdown for this Chiefs team, and your Kansas City Chiefs remain undefeated. They move to 8-0 after beating the Buccaneers. But Chiefs Kingdom, I'm going to be here over the next 25 to 30 minutes, giving you my instant reaction and instant thoughts to the Chiefs' victory. What a win it was. You saw DeAndre Hopkins get immediately involved in this offense. He had 2 touchdown catches in this game, and you could see right away that he had a sense of this offense, and it's going to be a thing to watch going forward. Now, I will say the Chiefs made this game a lot closer than it had to be. The Chiefs, when they were winning 24-17 late in the fourth quarter, they had the opportunity to maybe go for a first down late into the game with like 2 minutes left. I guess there was around a 2:30 left in the game, and they ended up not getting the first down, and they had to punt back to Tampa Bay, and Tampa Bay ended up going down the field and scoring, making it a tie ball game at 24, where the Chiefs ultimately got lucky. They didn't try to go for 2 to win the game just right there, but they didn't. The game went into overtime. The Chiefs won the coin toss and went down the field on a methodical drive and just got the touchdown. And I don't know about you guys, Chiefs Kingdom, there was never a doubt. I never had a doubt the Chiefs were going to lose this game, even when it went to overtime, because it just felt like, yeah, the Chiefs are going to make the right plays at the right time, and that's what they did tonight. All 3 of the touchdown passes that Patrick Mahomes got today were on third down. The Chiefs on third down were absolutely fantastic. That's a big reason why they were able to win. Now, the injury concern did get a bit scary in this game. You guys saw late into the fourth quarter, Patrick Mahomes threw that touchdown pass, that little flip pass to Samaje Perine, but it looked like he came down awkwardly on his ankle and his hip kind of popped a little bit. He was in a lot of pain, left the game, went into the blue tent. I was scared. I thought, okay, is this a lower leg injury to Mahomes? Is this something that could keep him out the rest of the game, maybe multiple games, maybe the entire season? Somehow, some way, Patrick Mahomes, whenever he goes down, finds a way to just make miraculous comebacks, and he was only out a play, or he wasn't even out of play. They were able to, get him back on the next offensive drive, and it just goes to show you how durable Patrick Mahomes is. But the Chiefs defense, I will say, did struggle a bit tonight. Now, they really struggled covering the tight end. I mean, the kid from Cade Otton, the tight end for Tampa Bay, just absolutely destroyed the Chiefs secondary. And that was a concern coming into this game. The Tampa Bay Buccaneers didn't really have a lot of weapons in that secondary, or a lot of weapons on the wide receiver room, because they lost Chris Godwin and Mike Evans before this game. And so it was going to go to Cade Otton, and that's what they did tonight. He had 8 receptions for 77 yards and had 1 touchdown. But they also were able to find guys like Sterling Shepard, who had 4 catches for 48. Trey Palmer had a couple catches where I was like, damn, like that's impressive. And Baker Mayfield led his team on a drive that tied this game late into the fourth quarter. And Troy Aikman said it on the broadcast. Tampa Bay called a timeout when they got to the 1-yard line before they scored. That was a mistake, because it left way too much time on the clock for the Chiefs to potentially go down the field and win the game in regulation. They couldn't end up doing that because there just wasn't enough time, and they made a couple mistakes, and they ended up punting the ball, and then just time expired, and we went into overtime. But you would have liked to seen the Chiefs offense do something with 27 seconds left in the game, but they were not able to do that. But in overtime, they were perfect. And I think that we really have to give Patrick Mahomes a bunch of credit. In this game, he was 34 of 44 for 291 and 3 touchdowns. No interception passes for Patrick Mahomes. So this is his first game in quite some time where he did not have a interception. Rushing the football, Kareem Hunt was fantastic. Kareem Hunt had 27 carries for 106 yards and 1 touchdown. That 1 touchdown was the game winner in overtime to give the Chiefs their 8th victory. Samaje Perine had 1 carry for 10 yards. And getting to the receiving, Travis Kelce had 14 receptions for 100 yards. And DeAndre Hopkins had 8 receptions for 86 yards and 2 touchdowns. You saw in his second game in a Chiefs uniform, after being here for under 2 weeks, He had 2 touchdowns in his second game off of 8 receptions for 86 yards. DeAndre Hopkins was as good as advertised, and it was a big reason why you won tonight. And you saw so many guys get hurt in this game. Patrick Mahomes went down at one point. You saw George Karlaftis and I believe it was Malik Herring maybe on the play where they went down. They ended up coming back. Mecole Hardman left the game with a shoulder injury. The Chiefs were battling through injuries tonight, but they were able to play the best football at the right times. And they were able to escape this game with a win. I know a lot of Chiefs fans out there were kind of concerned with how the game was going late into the fourth quarter. I was confident. Listen, I thought Patrick Mahomes was going to make the right play at the right time, and that's what ended up happening. When they won the coin toss in overtime, I was like, okay, this game's over. And maybe I shouldn't feel like that, but we've seen time after time this season, the Chiefs offense might not be great, but they are the best offense in the NFL at making the right plays in crunch time. And that's exactly what they did tonight, winning this game in overtime. And we really have to give Andy Reid a lot of credit, even though there was that little hiccup late into the game where they should have probably gone for try to getting the first down instead of getting conservative late into the fourth quarter because you ended up having to punt the ball back to Tampa Bay and they did go down and score. That's all water under the bridge because you won. But if you didn't win, that's a big problem. And I don't think that he would make that same mistake again. But it is something to note because they did kind of let Tampa Bay back in this game when they shouldn't have even gone down there and scored. And part of it is because we had trouble stopping the tight end. Cade Otton had a great game, but also just they shredded our fourth quarter defense. It was pretty bad. But Chiefs Kingdom, how do you guys feel about this Chiefs victory? I feel good, but at the same time, I expected it. I really did expect Patrick Mahomes to make the right plays when he was called upon, and that's exactly what he did. Now, I do want to give the defense a bit of credit because they did play, for the most part, a pretty good game. And for all the complaints that I have on the Chiefs defense, they only gave up 24 points. It's not like they let Tampa Bay get 28 to 30 something points on them. They gave them 24 points. And should they have given up that last touchdown? No, but you can't be super upset with the defense considering they've been rock solid all year and have been consistent in every single game you've played. A lot of these games you don't end up winning if the Chiefs, offense, or I guess a lot of these games you don't end up winning if the Chiefs defense doesn't show up. That's just the harsh reality of it. And so you got to give a lot of credit to the Chiefs defense, in previous weeks for putting them in this position. But how about this offense, guys? I mean, we've talked about it. They're starting to trend in the right direction. They had 27 points last week. They had 28 before against San Francisco. They just dropped 30 in this game. Granted, it took till overtime to get there, but they're starting to trend in the upper 20s. And when you have a defense that hasn't given up more than 25 points all season, the magic number is 25 plus. You score 27, you score 28, you're going to win football games. And that's exactly what they did tonight. It might have taken a little bit longer. It might have taken till overtime, but they were able to find a way to sneak out a hard-fought victory at Arrowhead Stadium. And I'll just say right now, for a DeAndre Hopkins debut at Arrowhead, what a debut. 2 touchdowns, 8 catches for 86 yards. It does not get any better than that. And this is his second game. You have to assume that as he continues to learn the offense, he's going to be even more productive in this system. And you can kind of see on that drive where the Chiefs could have gone down and won it late in the fourth quarter with like 30 seconds left. There was kind of a miscommunication with Patrick Mahomes and DeAndre Hopkins, where Mahomes kind of wanted Hopkins to immediately turn around and catch the football, but he just kept going. That's the type of stuff that gets, worked out when you've been in the system for a while. For DeAndre Hopkins to have only made minimal mistakes, you got to be pretty, happy with that. And him having that 35-yard catch downfield where he caught that ball in between 3 Buccaneers defenders, it doesn't get any better than that. And that play, I think, perfectly sums up why DeAndre Hopkins was a must-get for this Chiefs offense, because he might be one of 5, 6, 7 wide receivers in the NFL that could make that catch. You could throw You could throw Mecole Hardman out there. You could throw Justin Watson out there. You could throw whoever you want. Justin Ross, Nico Remigio. They're not making that catch. That is a DeAndre Hopkins catch. That is a special that only he could do. And that's why you brought him to Kansas City for a conditional 4th-round pick, I might add. So you got to be happy with what DeAndre Hopkins is already showing in this offense. And he's only going to get better. He is only going to get better as the weeks go on. But what did you guys think of the Chiefs offense? I know that, I think they played better this week than they have in weeks in the past. And I can say that because Patrick Mahomes did not struggle in this game like he has in weeks in the past. He looked pretty good. Again, 34 for 44, or I guess 34 of 44 for 291, 3 touchdowns, and no interceptions. You're going to sign up for that every single time. And outside of that injury scare, it was a pretty, stress-free night from Patrick Mahomes. Didn't throw any balls that you thought were going to get intercepted. And if he did, it was because his receivers didn't catch the ball. And Travis Kelce, for having, a 100-yard game off of 14 receptions, he had a couple plays where he just dropped the ball or he fumbled the ball, and that's got to get cleaned up. Travis Kelce, ever since 2018, averages a fumble a year, and so it's good to kind of see him get that out of the way now so he doesn't do it come playoff time, but you can't fumble the football, especially when Patrick Mahomes is not throwing interceptions. You just can't afford that. You can't afford him to cough up the ball, and it's just, I don't want to say it's uncharacteristic of him because he seems to do it seemingly every year, but he's got to get that out of the way. He's got to figure it out because you can't have that come postseason time. So the Chiefs are 8-0. The Chiefs are in a position that I don't really know if many thought they'd be in at the beginning of the season. I thought they'd be good. I thought they'd probably be, at this point in the season, 7-1, maybe 6-2. I don't know if I predicted 8-0. Now, we can go back and check because I have, receipts for all of this stuff. I think I had them losing to San Francisco on the road, but the guy that I was doing that video with, Austin Eckert, he's got them undefeated up until this point. So he knows ball. He had them undefeated, I think until, I don't even know. He had them going deep into the season before they lost, but you got to feel pretty good about being 8-0. And at a certain point, the Chiefs are just in a class of their own. And I think that's why I felt so confident about them winning this football game. It just felt like it doesn't matter what the Bucs do. The Chiefs are going to get the ball back, whether their defense makes a stop, whether their offense just gets it back, and they're going to go down the field and score. And that's what they did. And I feel like it comes off as arrogance. It comes off like we're just spoiled Chiefs fans. But did you guys think that game was going to go any other way? I didn't. I've seen it happen before. And especially this year, there is no reason for me to bet against the Chiefs in these situations. The Chiefs have been fantastic in the fourth quarter. They've been fantastic about, obviously winning football games this year, but they've been up in the fourth quarter. And normally, outside of today was kind of an anomaly. They don't choke leads like that. I was fully expecting this game to end 24-17. I thought that's how it was going to end. Now, it didn't end like that. Tampa Bay made it close because they went down the field and scored, but I still didn't really think this game was, going to be a loss. I just have so much confidence in Andy Reid and Patrick Mahomes to figure it out, and that's what he did. And even if if Carson Wentz had to come into this game because of the injury to Patrick Mahomes, I still think they would have found a way to win. I think Kareem Hunt has thrown the football, or I think Kareem Hunt has run the football so well, I still think they would have found a way to win. I think DeAndre Hopkins would have made a catch. Maybe Travis Kelce would have made a play. They would have found some way to get it done. And so it's such a unique time to be a Chiefs fan because I didn't really think they were going to lose at any point. But getting to your guys' comments, Joseph Madigan, good to see you, says, feels good. Unfortunately, it came at the cost of my undefeated fantasy season, but always happy with the win. Yeah, I know that the Mecole Hardman, one of my coworkers at the Chiefs placed a bet on Mecole Hardman to have like over 5 receiving yards, which I think he actually, let me check. I think he ended up getting, but at the time that he placed the bet, Hardman got hurt. So let's check that just to make sure my buddy's parlay hits. Mecole Hardman had 3 catches for 17 yards. So if you had the over on Mecole Hardman on yards, you definitely cashed your bets. But that's kind of a weird bet to make. Super Bowl champion said CB's not named McDuffie were trash. Yeah, that's part of the reason why, Cade Otton and, the wide receivers of Tampa Bay had such a great game. And that's also why they were able to march down the field in the fourth quarter and score. And so we talked about it earlier this week. Go get Marshawn Lattimore. It's going to be like $600,000. They just fired their head coach. Go get him. At this point, just go get the guy that can be consistent. He can be a reliable option for this defense. And I don't want to see Joshua Williams out there. Chris Roland Wallace is a nice piece to have. I don't want to see him play a lot of snaps. I just don't. I don't think that he can on a Super Bowl winning team. Kelce and Hunt both for 100 yards. Yeah, it's so crazy to me that we're watching Travis Kelce, mid-30s, doing this. Kareem Hunt hasn't really been like this good since 2018. And, you're seeing DeAndre Hopkins making plays in 2024 for this Chiefs team. It kind of brings me back to like 2018 when the NFL was just a lot different. What's going on, Tyler? Yes, let's go. Let's see. They definitely have to get someone at DB. And I think if you watched how Tampa Bay and Baker Mayfield played a really great game, considering they didn't end up winning, but he was able to target that number 2 cornerback spot. And we thought, okay, we know Trent McDuffie's going to be, for the most part, locked down. There might have been a play or two where the tight end got the best of him, but most of the time, quarterbacks don't throw at Trent McDuffie. They've learned their lesson. It's not smart for quarterbacks to do that. And so they normally don't throw at Trent McDuffie. Now with Joshua Williams and Chris Roland Wallace, it's a little bit different because they know that that's a weakness. They can pinpoint that. And until the Chiefs figure out some viable solution, it's going to remain just like that. And so trading for a cornerback is probably going to be a necessity if this Chiefs team wants to continue winning. So again, the Chiefs win 30-24 in overtime. Kareem Hunt got the game-winning touchdown to send this Chiefs team to 8-0. The Chiefs have gone to 8-0, and they just rolled through this regular season. Now, the only thing you hope for now is that you don't suffer very many injuries and that you can get to the postseason fully healthy as you can be. But you're going to get Hollywood Brown back at some point. Pacheco is on the route of returning by the end of November. And so good things are happening. Hopefully the Chiefs can just continue finding ways to win games, any means necessary, and just keep getting healthy on the offensive side of the ball because, you were very close to Patrick Mahomes maybe missing the rest of the season if he lands on his ankle the wrong way. And so I really do feel like we dodged a bullet there, Chiefs Kingdom. We dodged a massive bullet, and he is going to be, playing better football as this Chiefs team is trying to three-peat. But before we go any further, guys, I want to give a shout out to the sponsors of this channel all football season long. At Rice Real Estate Group, they're more than just a real estate team. They're a full-service partner in residential, commercial, and investment properties. They specialize in guiding clients through every stage, from the buying and selling process to handling complex, short sale situations with ease. Their passion lies in the personal one-on-one care they bring to every client relationship, ensuring each experience is tailored, smooth, and successful. Here it's all about building trust, delivering expertise, and ensuring every client feels valued throughout their journey. For more information, call Marla Rice at 816-819-9333. The Hollywood Casino at Kansas Speedway is the place to be. With over 1,500 slot machines, 35 table games, 4 restaurants, and a new ESPN Bet sportsbook, there are plenty of ways to find your fun. For more chances to win, follow them on social media on Facebook, Instagram, and X. Must be 21. Gambling problem? Call 1-800-GAMBLER. Huge shout out to the Hollywood Casino and Rice Real Estate for sponsoring this YouTube channel all football season long. But getting back to the game, the Chiefs just keep finding ways to win. And I feel like I sit up here every week and just say the same thing. Yeah, the Chiefs led in the fourth quarter. Yeah, they find a way to pull it out. And while this game was a little bit unique by the fact that it went to overtime, I didn't really have any massive concerns that they weren't going to come away with the victory. And so we truly are spoiled here in Kansas City that we have someone like Patrick Mahomes and Andy Reid who can just find ways to win football games when things might not be going their way. But I do think from an offensive perspective, you did a lot of great things tonight. And defensively, they have some things to work on, but you can't be super disappointed when they find a way to win. Like, I do think that the not covering tight ends is an issue, but we're also pinpointing something on a defense that's pretty great. Like, they can stop the run. They are a great blitzing team. They've got one of the best cornerbacks in football. And so, yeah, they might not be able to stop the tight ends all the time, but how many teams out there have great wide receivers and great tight ends? Not that many. And you saw earlier this year when you faced Baltimore, yeah, Isaiah Likely had a couple good catches, and he was a toe's length away from maybe tying or winning the game. But we're not talking about what would have been or what could have been. We're like, it's foolish to play that game. I think the Chiefs defense rises to the challenge depending on who they play. And so I am not really concerned. I think they'll figure it out, and hopefully they make a big time trade for a cornerback before, the trade deadline tomorrow. But I feel good. I feel really good about the state of this Chiefs team, and hopefully they can continue to find ways to squeak out victories and just get to the postseason healthy. I don't care if the Chiefs, well, okay, I'm going to rephrase that. I want the Chiefs to get the 1 seed. That is the only thing that I think they're playing for at this point. This division's locked up. For them to lose this division, they would have to do basically cartwheels, and a lot of stuff would have to go completely south for this team. I'm talking like an injury to Mahomes or somebody else. I don't think that's going to happen. I'm going to knock on wood really quickly. I don't want that to happen, but like, the Chiefs aren't losing this division. The only thing that they're playing for at this point in time is the number 1 seed in that playoff bye. If they get that, just get to the postseason healthy, and you're going to be there. Like, no one's going to want to play this Chiefs team coming off of a bye week in the playoffs if they're coming off of back-to-back Super Bowl championships. Like, I cannot imagine a worse situation for an opposing team. And so I feel like this is just like tune up till we get to the playoffs. I'm not really treating these games like it's anything. They could have lost this game. I'm not overly upset. I'm really not. If anything, I want them to lose here soon so they have something to look at mentally and say, okay, we need to improve at this. We need to get back into the lab. We need to understand what we did wrong and correct it. Things are going a little too well right now. And if they don't end up losing, I'm going to be kind of concerned. I'm laughing my ass off. Listen, bro, all regular season games are practice for playoffs for KC. You witness what the boys will do when it has to be done. Are you not entertained? Gladiator yell. King Jamie, great to see you as always. Yeah, I mean, this is the tune-up for the playoffs. And that's why if you lose a tune-up game, I'm not stressed. Why would I be stressed if you lose a game that, doesn't really mean anything in the grand scheme of things, especially because the Chiefs always win when it matters. The Chiefs win those games, late in the year for the division. They win the games that matter. They get the number 1 seed most of the time, excluding last year. But even then, the 1 seed didn't matter last year. You went to Baltimore and beat the 1 seed. So what does it matter if you're the 1 seed? Clearly, the Chiefs can go on the road and beat anybody. Now, you want to get that home field advantage. You want to have that bye week. If you don't end up getting it, though, who cares? Like, the Chiefs have shown that they can go on the road and win. And, I mean, does anyone want to face this Chiefs team home, away, in space? No one wants to face this Chiefs team, so it doesn't really matter. I say we cut the game ball in half and split between Kareem and DeAndre. Yeah, it's just so interesting that, like, Kareem Hunt ran the ball so well. I feel like you have to give it to DeAndre, though, for being his second game in the system, having 2 touchdowns in an explosive game like that. You got to give it to him. You just got to find some way to give it to him. But, you're not going to complain when you get great performances from your tight end, your wide receiver 1, and your running back. And your quarterback played great. And that's why offensively, I think you're taking away so many positive things because Patrick Mahomes didn't turn the football over. Kareem Hunt ran for 100 yards. Travis Kelce caught passes for 100 yards. DeAndre Hopkins, your new acquisition, had 2 touchdown catches. So I really think there's so many positives to take away from this game. And yeah, it did go to overtime, but the Chiefs were going to win this game close. It was either going to be in regulation or overtime. It just went to overtime tonight. Wait till we got Rice, Hopkins, Kelsey, Worthy, Brown, Hunt, and Pacheco. King Jamie, that is a terrifying thought. Terrifying thought for the NFL. And you're going to hopefully get Hollywood Brown back mid-December. I've seen rumblings that he comes back by Christmas time. This NFL is going to be cooked. Like I tweeted it out as soon as, DeAndre Hopkins caught that pass 35 yards downfield. The NFL's cooked. The NFL is cooked. You let Patrick Mahomes get his hands on one of the best wide receivers of the past decade. And you saw on that play, he's still got some stuff left in the tank. And listen, for a conditional 4th-round draft pick, I don't know what you guys are thinking. This trade, it's already been worth it. Already been worth it. He's got 2 touchdown catches. He's helped you win a football game by himself, essentially. It's been worth it. And he's only going to continue to get better as the season goes on. And let's see what a playoff DeAndre Hopkins is going to be like. I mean, because he's just going to be so hungry to win in the postseason. He could have a legacy playoff series where he just rattles off one of the most impressive series or impressive stretches that we've seen from a wide receiver. So I'm super excited for that. But that's really all I have for this Chiefs post-game show. The Chiefs were able to take down the Tampa Bay Buccaneers in overtime by the final score of 30-24. Kareem Hunt got the game-winning touchdown in overtime, and your Kansas City Chiefs moved to 8-0. They're the only unbeaten team in the NFL, and they continue to find ways to win when it just seems so unlikely. But Chiefs Kingdom, that is all I have for this live stream. If you haven't done it already, hit that like button on this stream and subscribe and share this stream so more Chiefs fans can find it. We just hit like 7,400 subscribers on the channel. Big thanks to you guys for getting to that milestone. But also hit the like button on this stream if you haven't already done it. Shout out to everybody in the chat, King Jamie, Tyler, everyone in the chat who has been supporting me and also just commenting along. We are going to do more live streams in this upcoming week. I'm actually going to get off here and do a couple videos for tomorrow, maybe teasing some potential trade options. So till tomorrow, guys, your Kansas City Chiefs find a way to move to 8-0 on the season. And as always, go Chiefs.